What's up YouTube, Jock217 here, and we are back with another Kingdom Hearts Top 10 Countdown. So we already know what the top 10 cheapest and most broken things are, and we also know that using these things makes most boss battles in this series 10 times shorter than they're supposed to be. But then we also run into that boss to where even though we use these cheap and broken strategies, they still take quite a bit of time. And so in this video, I'm going to be discussing who I think are the top 10 longest boss battles in this series. Considering all the factors that come into play in determining which boss battles can be long, this was a very difficult list to make. I had to replay through a lot of Kingdom Hearts games just to decide this. If you guys are wondering how I handled level, I pretty much fought all these guys at a decent level to where you're not overpowered but not under leveled. So keep that in mind, level is not a factor. First, let's set the ground rules. Final bosses do not count. Final bosses were made to be long. They were made to have multiple forms. They were made to take a good 20 to 30 minutes. It's a final boss. If I were to put final bosses in this countdown, there would be absolutely no point in watching it, because what's the point of watching a countdown if we already know that the number one pick is going to be a final boss? So therefore, for that very reason alone, final bosses are excluded from this countdown. Gauntlet battles do not count either. For those of you that don't know what a gauntlet battle is, it's those types of battles to where you fight a boss, you defeat him, and then you immediately go to the second battle without having a chance to heal, go to the main menu, change your equipment, save the game, jerk off, you name it. It's those kind of battles. If I put those battles in there, it would also be unfair to the other bosses, because gauntlet battles take just as long as final bosses do as well, even though most final bosses tend to be gauntlet battles anyway. Examples of these types of battles will be No Heart and Shion. Sorry, you two. And finally, bosses that take forever to beat because you handicapped yourself, such as not using a certain keyblade, not using a certain strategy, a certain attack, and doing level 1 critical mode challenges, do not count either. Sorry, mysterious figure. Fuck you, Doom Attack! It has to be somebody that'll take forever to beat regardless of what strategy you use, what attacks you use, what keyblade you use, and what character you use. So for fuck's sake, do not flood the comment section with statements saying, oh, this guy takes forever if you play as this person or that person. Otherwise the countdown might as well look like this. The only time I will ever say the words, oh, this guy takes forever if you play as this guy, is if either the person we are fighting is only exclusive to that character, or if that boss has a different moveset depending on which character you play as. That is the only time I will ever use that statement in this countdown. Other than that, for fuck's sake, do not flood my comment section with those types of comments. Now before we get started, we actually have a few honorable mentions. There are plenty of bosses out there worthy of making it on this list, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that really need to be discussed. Demyx, whether it's the regular storyline version or the data version. I can't tell you how many people told me that Demyx should be on this list when I did a poll on Facebook a few weeks back. All I saw was Demyx, Demyx, Demyx. Well, I'm gonna just come up with the assumption that those of you who think that Demyx should make it on this list don't know one very important fact about him. Demyx is weak to fire. So naturally, since he's weak to fire, you're going to want to hit him with it, aren't you? So simply spam Wisdom Form Fire on him over and over and over with a bunch of fire boosts, and you will kill him before you know it. Now, in case you're wondering if the data version does take longer due to all the clones, yes it does, but that's nothing that Wisdom Form Fire can't fix. If anything, the data version only adds like an extra minute or two to the storyline version of that. Other than that, that's it. Simply spam Wisdom Form Fire and you will beat both versions of Demyx before you know it. And if for some reason you keep turning into anti-form during the storyline, once you get Master Form, do not use any dry forms. If you don't use any dry forms once you get Master Form, you won't turn into anti-form. Terra. Yep, a lot of people thought that Terra would be on this list too. Now, normally Terra would take a while to beat, but thanks to a certain strategy known as Fenrir negative combo, that's no longer the issue. With this cheapo strategy, you can simply obliterate Terra in under a minute and a half. And this goes for some of the data battles too. This includes Roxas, Larxene, Marluxia, Axel, Syx, and Lexius. This strategy works on all of them too, so therefore, as long as this strategy exists, Terra cannot make it on this list. No, I am not insane. Sephiroth is an honorable mention, and that goes for both games. First, let's start off with KH1. Yeah, let me just tell you guys something right now. The fight with Sephiroth in KH1 is a lot longer than the one in KH2, no doubt about it. However, this one still didn't make the countdown thanks to two certain abilities known as Strike Raid and Ars Arcanum. These two abilities really make the fight 10 times easier, and they definitely speed up the fight. Combine it with Ultimate Weapon and some strength boosting accessories, and you will do a shitload of damage to Sephiroth in such a short amount of time. However, the main ability that does all the work is Ars Arcanum. Spam this attack over and over and over on him when the time is right, and you will do a shitload of damage and kill him in under 3.5 minutes. Trust me on that. As for the Kingdom Hearts 2 fight with Sephiroth, simply equip Decisive Pumpkin, any strength boosting accessories, use any power boosts you have, guard and counter guard, limit form, second chance and once more to survive, and you will beat this guy a lot faster than you think you would. Trust me on this. This fight really isn't long at all, due to the fact that not only is Sora way more developed in KH2 than he was in KH1, but also just because of the simple fact that you can do a shitload of crazy combos on Sephiroth in this game as opposed to the first one. Now, Sephiroth would take a long time if you're really fresh at the game and you're new at this game, and I will admit he did take a long time for me to beat the first time I played it, so that is why he is indeed an honorable mention. But what about this guy, or that guy, or this guy, or that guy? If the person you're thinking of isn't on the list, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments and we will discuss it right there. Just so you guys know, all these bosses were fought on critical mode, because you never know a boss's true potential until you fight him on critical mode. Proud mode if you're playing KH1. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started then, shall we? These are, in my opinion, the top 10 longest boss battles in Kingdom Hearts, and I just want to apologize for the crappy video quality for number 10, because due to some electrical issues I am going through at my house right now, I had to dig up some old footage from one of my old LPs. Hey, I never said storyline bosses didn't count. Anyway, I think out of all of the bosses in KH2, Oogie Boogie was one of the few bosses in there that actually took me quite a bit of time. I mean, this battle was pretty aggravating. But your main concern isn't Oogie Boogie himself. Your main concern is the fucking Heartless that he sends after you. I mean, you really don't want to pop those bags, but thanks to something called artificial intelligence, Jack and Goofy, or Donald, depending on who's in your party, end up popping the bags anyway, so now you have to deal with the Heartless, and by the time you're done with the Heartless, Oogie Boogie will finally come down after you somehow put up all the presents up there while the Heartless are still out, and then once he comes down, he'll move to a different section, and then you'll want to go to that section, but you accidentally go to a different section, and then you have to wait for the right reaction command to show up so you can go to the right section. You know what? I don't have time for this. This battle was pretty damn annoying, and it took me quite a bit of time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that it gave trouble to. So that is why it is definitely on this countdown. It doesn't take long, but it was just enough. I have said it before and I will say it again. I do not have a 3DS capture device, so I had to record all of my DS footage straight from my phone, so I apologize for any bad video quality that you guys may witness. Coming in at number 9 is Julius, Pete's long-lost gay lover from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Now, this fight can be difficult, but it really isn't that bad of a fight, and it won't take too long if you decide to spam balloon like what you see me doing in this footage here. Now, despite the fact that you can use balloon on this guy over and over, it still might take quite a bit of time because Julius might land a combo or two on you while you're doing balloon, and then at that point you might have to heal, and then if you're out of heals, then you're gonna have to just keep dodge rolling until one of your heals comes back, or you have to wait until your balloons recharge, or if you are really ungracious enough to where he lands that command disabling booty bounce on you, you will literally have to wait until you can use balloon again. So yeah, despite the fact that you can spam balloon on this guy and end the fight pretty quickly in like around maybe under 4 or 5 minutes, it still might take quite a bit of time due to all the insane combos that Julius can indeed pull on you if you end up being unlucky.
So it was the organization. We'll handle this. Huh?
The darkness of men's hearts, drawn to these cursed medallions, and this heartless, a veritable maelstrom of avarice. I wonder, are they worthy to serve Organization 13?
And you want an answer now?
Precisely.
Well, the answer to that question is no, they were not worthy enough to make Organization 13, but they were definitely worthy enough to make number 8 on this list. However, I'm not talking about this fight. I'm talking about this fight. I'm sure I'm not the only one that hates this fight. I mean, this fight is really annoying. You have to take the time to collect all the medallions, and then you gotta return them to the chest. You gotta cast magic on the guy in order to steal the medallions from him, and every time he hits you, he steals the medallions back. And then you have to use reaction commands to stop him from stealing the medallions to the chest. You know what? This fight is just too damn annoying. I mean, and it does take quite a bit of time to do regardless of what level you are at. Now, and the worst part of it is, if you run out of ethers and all your party members are dead, you have to literally wait until your MP recharges just to be able to take the medallions away from him. This fight is just simply ridiculous, and it takes quite a bit of time, which is why it is made number 8 on this countdown. I don't really think I need to say much as to why this guy made it on this list, do I? I mean, there's only one way you can beat this guy, and that is to guard all the crystals back at him. And while you are guarding the crystals back at him, you have to worry about dodging those damn ice crystals that come up from under the ground, or those meteors that he shoots at you, or that big snow flurry that he shoots at you too. If it was just simply block the crystals back at him, this would be 10 times shorter than what it actually is. But since you have to worry about dodging all of his other attacks while guarding his crystals back at him, the right ones at that, that is the reason why it has made it on this countdown as number 7. I haven't played 358 out of 2 days in such a long ass time that I almost forgot about this one. Leech Grave actually takes quite a bit of time. Why? Because you actually have to go around and attack the tentacles instead of attacking them head on, because if you attack them head on, you will get your ass kicked. So, here's the best way I could go about this fight. Take just enough damage to where you can use a limit break, go around and destroy all the tentacles while using fire, because fire actually helps you greatly in this fight, and then once you got him down, simply bombard him with limit breaks. That's the fastest way I could dispose of this bastard. If any of you got a better way, please, for the love of God, let me know in the comments below, and for fuck's sake, watch out for that damn poison cloud. Oh man, I wish. But nope, we have to send this Dementor back to Azkaban the hard way. For those of you that don't know what to do, allow me to tell you. First, we're going to go to the clock tower and cast Stop on it to make sure the Dementor doesn't suck out our souls. Then we're going to hit the Dementor with either fire, blizzard, thunder, or physical attack depending on what color his crotch is. Then, once we've hit him twice, we're going to go all the way around the tower while casting Stop on the clock to continue to make sure that the Dementor doesn't suck out our souls. And finally, we're going to rinse and repeat these steps over and over and over and over and over and over for like a good 6 to 7 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty much this fight in a nutshell. If only Harry would stop banging Jenny for like a good minute so he could help us out with this annoying ass fight. I swear, if there's any fights out there that are guaranteed to annoy the shit out of you, this is definitely one of them. For those of you that don't know who this is, let me just go ahead and elaborate on for you guys. Holy Moly, yes, that's his actual name. Pretty much he is a mole that likes to disappear in the shadows. He begins the fight by sending his creepy little hands after you, and then by the time you are done finishing them, he will pop up in a random location in this big ass room. But there's one problem. There's a shitload of walls and boxes that block your view of him and you don't know where he is. But now, you have to do the one thing that you never thought you would ever do during a boss fight, and that is look at the damn minimap! I mean, come on Square, what the fuck were you thinking? Why the hell are you gonna make us look at the minimap to find out where the boss is? Come on, you know nobody does that. But anyway, here's the most annoying part. By the time you finally get to him, he likes to disappear and then go all the way to the other side of the room, making you go all the way to the other side. And then once you get there, he disappears again. It is so fucking annoying! I don't really think I need to explain why this fight made this countdown. I swear to God, if it wasn't for homing spells like Balloon and the fire spells, this fight probably would have made number 1 or at least number 2. You know, what is up with Neverland and having a shitload of enemies that you have to chase around all over the damn place? In fact, this whole entire boss battle is pretty much just a wild goose chase. I mean, what the fuck was Square thinking? I mean, in order to defeat this guy, first you have to attack the tail, and then after you attack a tail, a part of it comes off, and then he turns into Berserker mode, tries to attack you, and then once he's finally out of his Berserker rage for like a good 1 or 2 minutes, then you finally have to attack the other parts of the tail. And this is a lot easier said than done. This fight is freaking ridiculous. You have to chase him all over the damn place just to be able to land 1 or 2 hits, a combo if you're blessed with a miracle, just to hit the tail. and then when you finally destroy a part of a tail, he like disappears and then charges at you, and then he is just all over the damn place in this arena. I mean, what the fuck was Square thinking? Why the hell do we have to chase him all over the damn place? At least for Holy Moly, you could use Balloon or Fire and you'll be able to hit him and do powerful enough damage. But here, you don't have shit. You don't even bother trying to cast Fire at him because you'll miss him 95% of the time. And that goes with every single other magic as well. The best magic that you can use on him is probably Thundara or Thundaga if you are extremely lucky. But unless you are super skilled, the only way you are going to defeat this guy is by chasing his ass all over the damn place and destroying every single part of the tail. So yeah, you're gonna be here a while. If you thought for a second that I was going to leave out Armor of Eraqus in this countdown, you are out of your minds. Now, I'm not going to completely bash on this fight because I actually really do enjoy this fight, and it is pretty epic because of both the music and just because of the simple fact that Eraqus kind of comes back to the dead. It's pretty badass. But god damn is it long! And it is long for a shitload of reasons. But the main reason is the fact that Armor of Eraqus has a shitload of defense. And he guards your attacks pretty damn well. He'll use reversal, he'll dodge them, he teleports all over the place. I mean, god damn, this fucker is the epitome of being hard to hit. And now, believe it or not, this guy actually has different movesets. So I am going to use the fact that with Terra, it takes the longest. I am going to use that argument because Eraqus actually has different movesets depending on which character you use. Let's go ahead and have a look at them, shall we? See what I'm talking about? Armor of Eraqus has different movesets depending on which character you play as. So, in this perspective, he might as well be his own boss. He's an exclusive boss to the exclusive character. And I'm pretty sure that he also has different stats based on which character you play as. Because I fought this guy with all three characters at level 50, and Terra had the highest strength naturally, yet for some reason he's doing the least amount of damage to Armor of Eraqus when you fight him as Terra. So yeah, This fight with Terra takes a long ass time. Not only because of the fact that Armor of Eraqus has a shitload of defense. I mean, he has a shitload of defense with all characters regardless, but he has extra defense with Terra. And it also doesn't help the fact that Terra is way slow. There is a secret. The only way to do a decent amount of damage to Armor of Eraqus is to attack him while he's attacking you. And due to all of the crazy attacks that he uses on you, that shit is very hard to do. So there's the only two ways I was able to do it is either A, use shot locks when he's shooting light bulbs at you, or when he summons those orbs around him and shoots those lasers at you, or B, when he jumps up in the air and is ready to attack you, use a surge attack. Other than that, you are going to be fighting this guy for a long time with Terra, even at max level. If you guys are wondering how long it took me personally to beat all these bosses, the times are in the description below. And believe it or not, guys, I actually had a whole entire speech written down explaining why Armor of Eraqus is #1 and the longest boss battle. But after playing all the Kingdom Hearts games, one boss showed up and said, "Fuck your speech, I'm #1." And sure enough, this guy is #1. This asshole will take you forever to beat because he is both hard and long. That sounded wrong. Anyway, here it is, the #1 longest boss battle in the history of Kingdom Hearts, at least until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Mission number 89. Eliminate 6 giant Heartless. 6 giant Heartless have spawned in Twilight Town. Eliminate at least 6 of them. Also, be on the lookout for Dustfliers. They are easily in the strongest class of Heartless. Prepare accordingly. Man, I'm not worried. It's just a Heartless. I mean, how bad can this Dustflier possibly be? Do not underestimate this guy. This guy will kick your ass. I mean, I cannot tell you how shocked I was when I first fought this guy. And let me tell you something right now. This bitch is fucking hard. His defense is just as high as Armor of Eraqus. He can hit you with status effects. Magic doesn't do shit. And the worst part of it is, he hits like a truck. Let me tell you guys something right now. The only way you will win this fight is if you pretty much do not get hit at all. Now, I'm not saying Dustflier is the hardest boss in the whole series, because his attacks are actually very predictable. But still, the fact that you pretty much can't be on the ground for more than 5 seconds is what makes this fight hard as fuck. And on top of that, if things can't get any worse, those damn shadows around him will mess up your lock-on system. However, your main concern is those damn status effects and those fucking fireballs. If you get hit by one of those fireballs, guess what? You're gonna die! So let me tell you guys something right now. This is how the fight is pretty much gonna go out. You're gonna pretty much be gliding around for God knows how long until you either die again or until the ground decides to stop being white. Yes, it is that damn picky. If the floor is white and you touch it, guess what? You got hit by a status effect and you took a shitload of damage. Like that. And the status effects can vary from blindness to freaking confusion. And I swear to God, if you get confused in this fight or level 1 defense, you are fucked. But then again, most of his attacks are pretty easy to dodge. What you do is let him do his sonic boom thing, let him do his attack, and then he is open for like one mid-air combo at best. If you try to do another combo afterwards, it is suicide. And speaking of suicide, don't you dare try to do limit breaks on this guy. It's suicide. This boss battle takes forever to do. For some reason, this wyvern has a shitload of defense. Not as much as Armor of Eraqus, but pretty damn close. Don't even bother bringing offensive magic here because it doesn't do shit for you. The magic that you should bring here is Cure, Second Chance, if you can get it, and a shitload of auto lives if you can. Make sure you have Glide in this fight. If you do not have Glide in this fight, you will die. And on top of that, this guy has a shitload of defense. Prepare to be fighting this guy for a good 20 minutes, unless you are at max level. Even at max level, this guy will take a long ass time. The only way you can do a shitload of damage is if you are lucky enough to land a critical hit on this guy, if you're even lucky to manage the full combo. Or if you are stupidly brave enough to do a limit breaks. But like I said, for fuck's sake, do not do limit breaks and don't get hit by those fireballs. Otherwise, you are going to die. Have fun fighting this bastard. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for my countdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hammer smash and stab that like button and subscribe of course. And I will see you guys next time for the next countdown. See you guys later. Be safe. Itterashai.